most arrogant, overconfident filmmaker in Malayalam.
Some of my friends have told me you give out a very snobbish vibe. Initially, I thought it was my attitude problem. I was obsessed with Nivin Pauly when I watched Bangalore Days. I got a similar feeling that I got after watching Nivin Pauly. And I also told him, if you don't like the script, you don't have to act in it. I've only faced challenges. I have to work really hard to get even the smallest of things. When my peers or my friends would have to work one day to get a piece of bread. For the same piece of bread, I'll have to work for 1 week. At that point of time, it was very uncertain. I did not have any money in my bank account. That is the time that I don't want to go back to. The darkest period of my life. Everybody wants acceptance in life. Nobody wants criticism. Calling it a rip-off or a copy that truly is heartbreaking for me, it actually broke my heart. That's the reason for my anger. It took some time for me to accept the fact that the world doesn't always favor you. I was irritated for one particular reason. Do you think it's fair to actually ask us to... This guy was irritating me from all accounts. Even in Twitter, he has the same name and DP. I shouted at a couple of my ADs and used some cuss words and all that. Malayalam industry works on a very personal level and you need to have friends. I think Hindi cinema was Shah Rukh Khan and Karan Johar during that time. And this person changed everything. Anyway, the industry is going to be uncertain. Your mind should not be uncertain. You should have a fixed goal.
Plan B is to make Plan A work.
For Naslin, what I did was I called him to a hotel. He came to the hotel and what I did was switched off all the nights. Please don't say stuff like this. People, you are going to get hate.
It's okay.
I'm telling you, you're going to get hate.
Abhinav Sunder Nayak.
Hi.
Welcome to Fully Filmy. Welcome back to Fully Filmy.
Pleasure to be back.
The last time you gave an interview on our channel, it was like 6
I
years ago.
hope you delete this interview. That interview.
No. It should always be there so we can see that contrast of
where I was and where I am now.
Yeah.
I hope no one watches that.
But there's so much that's happened in the last 5-6 years, right? Mm-hmm. At that time, I think you were still editing.
That interview, I was working on the script of Mugaduruni.
Yeah, you were still writing, but I was not gone into production or anything yet. No. You had stopped editing sometime in 2017, something like that, right? So then 2022, Mukundan Unni comes out. I couldn't catch in the theatre that time for some reason.
A lot of people couldn't.
Yeah, it was some COVID wave. Something was going on. Yeah. I think a second wave or something. Then I caught it on Hotstar. Mm-hmm. I watched it again last night till the interval point. I think I've told you this. I think I've told everyone this many, many times. Mm-hmm. It's like my number 2 Malayalam film of all time. And in that process, I'm sure some people would have told you some reactions. You would have read something somewhere. For example, I'm sure you will be open to talk about this. Mm-hmm. There'll be one accusation about Mukundan Unni that it has a lot of traces of Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Right. So, firstly, how do you see that? And when you're also constantly online, how do you not let it affect you?
It definitely affects me because of the fact and the truth that it's not a copy. And I have done legit hard work for the film. I mean, there's so much of work gone into the screenplay of the film. Me and my co-writer, Vimal, we have actually struggled a lot in writing that film. And there's so much work gone into that. Only another writer would understand what has gone into it if they actually start writing a similar script.
I won't say it's a copy for sure. But I can understand if someone is saying, it has traces of that character.
You can say that.
Yeah. But while writing the movie or coming up with Mukundan Unni's character, was there some inspiration from Nightcrawler?
Yes. That I've already spoken in an interview before the release of Mukundan Unni. In an interview with Sajin on Indian Express.
Sajin Sridhar.
Sajin Sridhar. He had spoken to me about that, and then I have named a couple of films, including Nightcrawler, as an inspiration. So, but calling it a rip-off or a copy that truly is heartbreaking for me, it actually broke my heart when people started saying that. So that's the reason for my anger towards that. And other than that, I don't think. And after a point, I started accepting that. Okay, it's okay. It's okay to be, accused of something, and you can't do anything about it. Not everything is in your control. You can't control what another person judges. It took some time for me to accept the fact that the world doesn't always favor you. It's okay, and let them talk about it that way. And I can't convince them also.
Of course not.
Yeah.
And I think that's whoever says it's a copyright, I think that's a very reductive way of looking at it.
It's okay. I mean, whatever. This interview is also going to get comments.
Of course.
So you can't
Please
do anything
comment.
about it.
Not a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, and also I think it's also because of me in general. As in, like, I give out a very snob kind of vibe on social media. Probably some of my friends have told me you give out a very snobbish vibe, but when we met you in person, you are not that way. I don't think you should talk on social media much. And because I give a very snobbish vibe, people like to probably hate on me.
Bro, I
people
really,
as in, like, people who follow me on Instagram.
I really relate to this. You represent the Malayalam film industry, right? You're one of the most promising upcoming directors of
Please
the
don't say stuff
No.
like this. You are going to get hate.
It's okay.
I'm telling you, you're going to get hate.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a Malayali
an
filmmaker.
upcoming guy.
Okay. You make
Yeah.
films in Malayalam.
Yeah.
And you're a fan of Malayalam cinema.
Yeah.
Right. I want to start with something that happened last year. So, in August last year, I did this one roundtable with different film critics from around India. The only person who represented Malayalam cinema there was Nona Prince. Okay, he's also not Malayali, but he spoke on behalf of Malayalam cinema.
He speaks a lot about Malayalam.
Yeah. So I think he's left Bollywood, and I mean he's very devoted to Malayalam cinema. Shout out Nona. So who all were there? There was Bharadwaj Rangan, there was Anupama Chopra, Anmol Jamwal, who is Jami Pans, Tried and Refused Productions, and there was all of these people. But everyone was mainly speaking about Malayalam films only. About how great the Malayalam industry is, how great the films are, that they are doing something different. Right? Before we get into your journey, for you as a fan, right? What are you guys doing right? What is this industry doing right as compared to others?
I think the industry works on a very personal level in Malayalam. I don't think there is a lot of corporate involvement as of now. And there's not much of management level of paperwork level of filmmaking happening. Everything is just on a personal level. An independent producer, independent producers would be big, and these people would find directors who they want to work with, and they'll create a project like that. So everything is on a personal level, and I think that's the reason why we are still making really good stuff. Once it goes to a corporate level where everything is on paper and everything has a lot of steps to go through, procedures எல்லாம் இருக்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு செட்டப் வந்தீங்கன்னா இந்த மேஜிக் இருக்காது கண்டிப்பா. I think Bollywood lost probably its magic after the corporatization. Before that, it used to be personal level connection. I think the producers used to be there, and they used to be personally connected with distributors, and they used to have personal connection with stars. Now everything has a procedure, as in the stars would not directly talk. They'll talk through their agents,
managers or agents. Yeah.
So this will stop making good stuff. I think for really good movies to happen, I think you should have personal connection with people, and people should talk to people directly,
right,
without mediation.
I have a little fear, like what you said only, that you're saying once that corporate thing comes in, things will start changing, right? Now, ever since last year, or even before that, but in the recent past, I can give Loka as an example. Now, Loka's, I don't know the exact numbers, please don't quote me on this, but 350, 400 crores and all, it's doing enormous business for the budget that's it's made on. Same, it started with Manjumal Boys, then it was Loka, and then now we have Vada 2. Smaller budgets, like this much enormous business and all. And of course, when some film, no matter where it's made, if it makes so much noise, it's going to invite a lot of attention and possibility of studios and all coming in, offering big amounts of money to the same producers and production houses and all of that stuff. So, has that thing actually started to change in Malayalam, or it's still more or less the same?
I think people have, like, other big companies are starting to invest in Malayalam because they see potential, but I don't think that's a healthy thing after a point. I think the producers and the stars and everybody working in the industry should be a little more careful, because to ensure that the quality does not go down, and to ensure that the personal way of working remains. Investment is fine, but control is a problem.
Got it. Okay. Let's talk about your journey a little bit, right? So my first introduction officially of you was with Mukudan Unni. Probably one of the darkest characters I've seen, right? At least in Indian cinema, right? For a protagonist, even though you can call it anti-hero, whatever, but such a enjoyably dark character, and which everyone loved. And but I'm sure that the beginning, like in the sense your childhood may not have revolved around liking such characters and all of that. Your beginning might have been different, right? So what was your growing up years like, and with your relationship with cinema? What kind of movies did you used to watch, and then how did that evolve?
The reason I started loving movies was because of sound. As in, like, I used to be very particular about watching movies in DTS when I was a child. I was like 8 years old or something.
How did you know about DTS when you were 8?
Yeah, that's what it's very. I didn't know about the technical details or anything of that sort, but I think I was introduced through Crown Cinemas in Kozhikode. There's a Crown Theatre. It's called. It's still called Crown.
It's a single screen?
It used to be a single screen, but now I think there are 2 screens in it. So that was the theatre where English films would come. And there was a theatre called Apsara Theatre. That's where Hindi movies would come and Tamil movies would come. And these theatres had DTS. And I think I used to go to theatres to experience this. And after a point, I started becoming this person. Even when I was 10 years or 11, I used to be obsessed about the fact that a movie should have DTS. As in, like, when I was in Wayanad, there was a theatre called Mahavir. Mahavir used to be the only theatre in Wayanad where it had DTS. And I would go only to Mahavir Theatre because it had DTS. And one day, I watched Mummy and all those movies there in Wayanad, in Mahavir. So there was one day this movie called Tengashipatnam came, and that released in Mahavir. And I went to watch it because Mahavir, right? And I went to watch it, and it did not have DTS. And I was really pissed off at the theatre people because they did not switch on DTS. That's what I thought. They did not switch on DTS. Like, how can they do this to me? I went there to experience DTS, and it was not there. Later on, I realized, okay, that film did not have DTS.
Okay.
So these are, I think initially I got attracted to movies because of sound. And the fascination of watching things coming from behind, and sound coming from behind, and all those things. And then slowly, I developed interest in movies as a whole. As in, I wanted to become a filmmaker after watching Shyamalan's movies, as in Sixth Sense and Science especially. I think it actually made me feel like this is something that I would like to do, because I could see something that has been done that has not been done before. For example, I still remember a shot in Sixth Sense or Science. I'm not sure. I have not seen those movies for a long time now. A mirror shot. The character would be inside the mirror, and then the shot would come out.
Oh, that's another movie, no? I think.
No, not that. That's in Instagram.
The kid
you would
keeps
see that.
running.
No, that's not the one.
Not that.
So there's a Shyamalan film with that with the mirror shot. I think that's where I started thinking, how do you shoot that? And I tried shooting with not shooting as such. Like, I took a proper normal still camera which you have it. I just tried to see if I can shoot it in front of the mirror, but I was seen in the mirror. That's when I was fascinated. Okay, how do you do that? So that's what I think some uncle or someone who was there told me, adakka direction. I think that's when I heard of direction first. Adu direction trick aanu, something like that he told. So that's when, okay, director is like, that's when Manoj Shyamalan's name came up, as in he's an Indian person. And I know that people talk of him as in hailing from Tamil Nadu, but at that point of time, people were talking as if he's from Kerala. In Kerala, we used to, everyone used to...
He's from there, no?
Yeah, I think
Mahe
probably he's a mix of Tamil and Kerala. I don't know. So everyone used to say he's from Kerala, and he's a Malayali, and he's now gone to Hollywood to make... and that's when I was fascinated. Oh, Malayalis can make movies there in Hollywood. Okay, that's a director. Okay, that's when I started thinking about cinema as something that I would like to do.
But that was Science was sometime in 2001 or 2002, something like that.
I don't 2002 or 3, I'm sure.
Okay. So you started thinking about becoming a director at like 11, 12, some like 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you were born 90.
Yeah.
Right.
89 December.
89 December, okay. So around 13, 14 years old you had started. What were the other, apart from Shyamalan, at that time?
RGV, yeah. RGV used to be my, I mean, when I think Hindi cinema was Shah Rukh Khan and Karan Johar during that time. And this person changed everything. This person just made darkness very sexy and mainstream.
Cinematic.
Yeah. Till then, anything that is not romance or Shah Rukh Khan would be offbeat. But RGV made everything, a lot of other things mainstream. And he was cool. He was really cool.
What were the RGV movies that you watched for the first time?
I think the Bhoot. I think Bhoot and Company.
Yeah.
Bhoot and Company were like the first RGV movie was Rangila. And that's when I experienced DTS probably for the first time. Yeah, I forgot to mention that because Rangila, I think I watched. I was very small. I was tiny. But I remember
5, 6 years old.
Yeah, I remember getting a heart attack inside the theater because I remember just one visual.
Urmila?
No, not Urmila. Sound.
Okay.
There was this one helicopter shot or something. Is it the beginning of the film? I don't know. Some helicopter shot I remember.
Beginning is the song.
As in not helicopter shot, as in like
crane shot.
Not a helicopter shot.
Like a drone shot.
Kind of shot. I remember. That's the only faint visual I remember. It was in Apsara Theatre, Kozhikode. And I remember my heart beating so fast. That was the first time I think I experienced DTS. So yeah, RGV's first film I saw was Rangila. I don't remember anything else in the film. Just that one major shot where I got a shock. That sound is so big. And everything is coming from behind and all that.
Yeah, from our childhood, you mainly just remember those sounds and the feeling.
The feeling that you get.
And maybe like one shot or something.
One shot. So I still faintly remember that shot. That is still in my core memory.
You're saying you watched Manoj Naik Shyamalan, RGV.
And Vinayan sir, Agashanga.
Give me a little context about him.
Vinayan used to make, he made a movie called Agashanga. It's still legendary. I still watch it. I think it's a very well made horror film in Malayalam. And he also used to be an inspiration for me while growing up because he used to, his movies had DTS.
Everything has DTS.
His movies, Agashanga did not have DTS. It was too early for DTS to come. I think he used to bring in new special effects and DTS. So while growing up as a kid, these things used to fascinate me. So Vinayan sir also was a huge inspiration for me. So all three people were like, these movies were all part of my childhood. Movies made by these people.
And so, which time period was Akash Ganga?
Akash Ganga was 98. I was a small kid, but his movies later on, Velli Nakshatram and Albuda Deep, and all these movies were like known for trying out something new with a lot of special effects and sound effects and stuff like that. It may not be celebrated now, but for that time, it tried out something new. And as a kid, those things fascinated me a lot.
And how were the 2000s for Malayalam cinema? Like, I remember watching only one film from that time, which was Kirichundan Mambaram.
Okay.
So, I mean, for our holidays, every time we would come to, like once a year, we'll come to Kerala in Kodungalur, and then whatever movie was playing nearby, we'll go and watch. So, this was one movie that I watched that time. I didn't find it like that great, and I didn't understand anything. I was like a little young. But what was that period like? Because everyone talks about 2000 to 2007, 8 as some kind of like a dark period for Malayalam.
I don't know if it's a dark period, but I made my first short film when I was 15. So it was 2005, 2006. So at that point of time, when I made my first short film and the kind of thoughts that I had at that point of time, the kind of stories that came to me, I never felt like, maybe I may not be able to make these movies in Malayalam. That is the kind of feeling I got at that point of time. So, but it changed after 2010 and all that. Definitely changed, and I was more confident. Okay, I can make films in Malayalam too. So yes, it was not a dark period, but the kind of films that came out were different from now. That's all.
Right.
And I'm sure there are a lot of people who enjoy those movies. Even I enjoyed those movies, but just that I never could imagine making those kind of movies.
I think
it was all commercial stuff.
Yeah.
It's just that it may not be the kind of films that I dreamt of making. That's all.
Like compared to 80s and 90s and then post 2008, 2010.
Yeah.
Compared to that, I think it was a slightly more commercial period.
Yes. We were like trying to emulate other industries.
Yeah, like Telugu and Tamil
and all that. But that's okay. CID Musa came during that time. It's a classic.
Lot of good films came during that time.
Yeah,
no doubt. And even a lot of Blessie's films had come out, I think, during that time.
Kacha was amazing.
Tanmatra and all was during that period only, right? So, of course, they're like good movies, but I guess the Malayalam cinema that we know today for experimenting a lot, that went a little missing during that time. Right? So, which was that film that made you go, yeah, fuck, this is what I'm going to do. I want to get into movies. Science only.
Shyamalan Science.
And so when you decided that, I mean, when you felt like, okay, this is what I want to do, what was your next step? Did you put like an entire plan of by this time, like how Mukundan only puts?
No. I lacked planning. So I don't know. I just wanted to learn. As in, I wanted to get a camera. So it was expensive, and I was coming from a very middle class family. As in, like my dad works in insurance. So asking him for a camera was a huge thing. I mean, but I think by the time I entered my 11th standard, he got me a camera. That was a lot of struggle to get that. And so that was my first step probably.
Which camera was it?
Sony Handycam.
The camcorder.
With the mini DV tape.
Okay.
I think that Sony Handycam was worth his entire 1 month salary. Okay. Yeah. So he did.
This was before SLRs.
Yeah. I think it was his entire salary. 1 month's entire salary. So that was I mean, I'm lucky to have a father like him, as in, because he's never said no to me even when he lacked something. So.
And what was the first thing you shot with that?
I think my uncle playing cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
And probably like a film or something. When did you write or did you just...
I think I shot it in 10th standard or 11th standard, a short film. 11th standard. Yeah, I got a camera by the end of 10th standard, and I shot a short film with my best friend. We both acted, and when I was acting, he shot. When he was acting, I shot it. So it was like a twist ending kind of short film with a Manoj Naish Shyamalan trademark twist ending short film. Yeah.
Was there like a script and all of that, or you just went?
No, we both sat and wrote something. He was also a Shyamalan fan. His name is Ashwin.
Okay.
He's working in IT right now. So he's also an integral part of me being interested in films. He was a person who actually introduced me to Rajiv Masant. He was a person who introduced me to a lot of classics. He would say, watch Godfather, watch this. He used to have inclination towards movies way before I had. As in, like, he watched a lot of great classics and all those movies even before I even thought about it. I used to watch all contemporary movies and then get fascinated by it. But he would tell me, watch this. Watch Rajiv Masant show every weekend. He's a nice critic. You will understand movies better. And he's still a very sensible person. And he's a good critic also. Yeah.
We all have that one friend.
Yeah.
Who
he works in Bangalore in an IT company now.
Okay. How come he didn't get into movies?
I don't think he wanted to.
He just liked.
Yeah, he just likes movies.
Enjoying the movies. Yeah. When someone thinks of getting into movies, obviously you started directing, you made short films and all of that. But you started your career, you started as an AD, right, in Tira. So how did that happen? And then how come you got into Tamil cinema as an editor as compared to making, like, debuting as a director and all that?
I was in Tamil Nadu at that point of time. As in, like, I used to edit a lot of Tamil short films and all. I used to do freelance work in Chennai. I used to edit corporate videos for IT companies. I used to edit VFX show reels for VFX companies based out of Chennai. And I used to constantly earn so that I can live an independent life in Chennai. I was alone, staying alone in a 1RK space in Vadabalni. So I used to edit short films and also somehow try to make it in the industry. We used to.
But why Chennai? How did Chennai happen?
I got a lot of calls from short filmmakers in Chennai when I directed a short film in 2010 after my college, and that became viral. That got like 1 million views or something at that point of time.
On YouTube?
I disabled that video. You can't see it. Okay. I am not proud of any of this work that I have done before. So, but it was a huge hit online. And the editing part of it was talked about. And a lot of Chennai-based filmmaker saw it and called me, are you available to edit for us and all that, and they told me, you can come to Chennai, we'll pay you and all that.
Short filmmakers or actually non-filmmakers?
Short filmmakers.
Okay.
They were Nayak filmmakers and all that.
Do we know anyone right now?
Madhav Nashwin's short films, all short films I edited. I think I edited a small promo video for Nalan when he was making something for TV before Sudugam. Some things I don't want to mention, but yeah.
Okay. How did Chennai treat you? Like, in the sense, you've lived most of your life in Calicut, I'm guessing, and then you came to Chennai, new city. A lot of Malayalis come here for engineering, for college. Basically, they come to Chennai or they go to Bangalore. It's one of this thing. But how was Chennai for you, and what was your impression before? And
Chennai is like, I love the city. I mean, there are two cities that I love, Mumbai and Chennai. It's very cliche, I know, but these are the cities that I truly love. I would like to either settle in Chennai or in Mumbai. Most probably Chennai, but but it's better to work from Kochi because that's where the entire industry is, and it's easier to connect with people and all that in Kochi. So I stay in Kochi, but sometime in the future when I'm thinking of settling down, hopefully this should be the place that I settle down.
What do you like about Chennai?
I think it's the spirit of I think I like, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I don't go out too much. So these things don't matter to me. Nightclubs or stuff doesn't matter to me. I love the people here. I love the vibe here. I love staying here. That's about it. Probably also because all my struggling days, most of the struggling days I spent in Chennai. Even though there are like so-called struggling days, I never see it as struggle because I still see them as beautiful time. And because I did everything out of love for movies, and whatever struggles that I had, I don't look back at that and feel as if it's something bad or negative or anything of that sort. So the city has only given me a lot.
So from 2014 was Vayamudi Peso?
Yes.
And until 2017 you were just editing different films like Uriyadi and few projects in Malayalam also, right?
Yeah.
Goda and all.
Goda,
also.
Anandam, yeah.
Goda and Anandam. 2017 to 2022, right? That period is not there anywhere. I mean, maybe you've spoken about it before, but what was that period like? And I also want to add one thing. Vineet Srinivasan had one interview. I'm paraphrasing, okay? I don't know what exactly he said, but it was something like I think he was talking to Anupama Chopra, and in that he said life has been very hard for Abhinav or something like that, right? Has been unkind, or he's gone through a lot of challenges or something. So I'm trying to make like a connection between this period and this period. Is it the same period that he's talking about?
No, it's I think it's from the beginning, as in like from 2011. Ever since I finished my college till I made my first film, I've only faced challenges. I don't know how that happens to me.
Can you explain?
I don't know. Things don't favor me most of the time. So I can't like go deep into it because it's like a lot of it is like shown in Mollywood Times.
Okay.
But it's not my story or anything of that. So as in like, but a lot of it is put into Mollywood Times. I have had to like work really hard to get even the smallest of things. Yeah. So I have had to, I mean, when my peers or my friends would have to work for one day to get, I'm just giving you an example, when my peers or my friends would have to work one day to get a piece of bread. For the same piece of bread, I'll have to work for 1 week. And still I may not get the whole piece of bread. So that's the kind of experiences that I've had. So I don't think it's anybody's fault. And I don't think I've actually introspected a lot about that. And initially I thought it was my attitude problem, and I had some issues with the way I deal with people, or like the way I deal with life. I thought about that as also, and I don't think it was my issue also. Like I don't think I was also doing anything wrong in my life. So it just happened that I had to work way too much for not getting anything.
So at that you're saying that there is a struggle period, but you don't look at it as a struggle.
But it was the struggle. See, I'll tell you. The struggle from 2011 to 2017 till I stopped editing was something that I could take a lot of it, because I was still working. And when you're working, you don't feel the struggle. And even when I look back, you don't feel like they're struggles, because I'm still working. So in 2000, from 2017, ever since I started writing Mugundurni Associates, I did not edit anything, because I wanted to like completely develop the film and give everything to it. And at that point of time, it was very uncertain. I did not have any money in my bank account. I had zero money in my account. And that was a time when
2017 or 2022?
2022, yeah. So that was a time I had to, that's the darkest period, because my marriage also suffered. A lot of things suffered. Yeah. So that was a time when, that is the time that I don't want to go back to. The darkest period of my life. And probably Mugundurni also came out of the darkness. Yeah.
But it was a good thing to come out of that darkness. No? So by saying you don't want to go back to that period, is it like, do you not like talking about it, or do you not like thinking about it, or it's like I'm going to use it somewhere else?
Get to that state again.
Oh, okay, like that. You don't.
Yeah, I just don't want to go back to that state again.
Got it.
I want to just be at peace with myself.
I am not going to ask what exactly happened. Okay. So for you during that time, right? What can you tell people who have been in your stage or who are in your stage right now about what to do during such a time? Who was there for you, and like what can they do when things are so uncertain?
You can't do anything. You just have to hang on. You just have to hang on and work towards your goal. You can't do anything. That's the reality. And you just have to make sure that you have good friends around you, hopefully, and yeah, someone to actually talk to.
Work means like what?
If you should have a singular goal. I don't think, see, anyway the industry is going to be uncertain, and to make a movie you have to struggle a lot and all that. That's very common, not just me, everybody has the struggle. But so since that is very uncertain, your mind should not be uncertain. You should have a fixed goal, as in like your mind should not be wavering, as in like, should I make this movie or this movie or that movie? No, you should fix a singular goal and work towards it. That is the only way out of this. I had no other plan B. I had only Mugundurni Associates. I wanted to make Mugundurni Associates, and that was the movie I wanted to make. 4 years went by without the movie getting on, but I still wanted to make only Mugundurni Associates. That is the only thing that made me keep going through the struggles. If I had multiple plans on okay, இந்த வருஷம் ஒர்க் ஆகலைன்னா நான் போய் ஐடி ஒர்க் பண்ணுறேன், இல்லைன்னா அங்கே ஆட் ஏஜென்சி ஒர்க் பண்ணுறேன், இல்லைன்னா எடிட்டிங்கே பண்ணிடுறேன், இந்த மாதிரி பிளான் எல்லாம் இருந்திருந்தா I don't think I would have made that movie. You need to have just one plan A, and the only plan you should have. And you should have one singular movie that you need to make, and you should feel that is a movie that you need to make. And I had Mugundurni Associates, and even Mollywood Times. I had no other movies to make. My second movie was Mollywood Times, and I wanted Naslen. And if he wouldn't be a part of it, I would cancel the second film. I would wait for some other idea to come.
Oh damn!
That's it. You need to have a singular goal. Only then it would work.
Plan B is to make Plan A work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But how did you feel like? I'm sure you would have had other subjects before you locked in on Mukundan, right? No. Nothing, only one.
No, I had another subject, one singular, again, a singular goal sort of thing that I had in my mind, but I could not make that. And I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, it was my dream project, but I could not make that. Dream project as in like, it's been in my mind. I'm not saying that is the ultimate dream project even now. I'm just saying it was a film that came to me when in 2010, an idea that came to me in 2010, and I wanted to make it. I pursued that idea till 2017.
7 years.
Yeah, 7 years, but I could not make it. So, but I don't want to talk about that.
But someday it will come.
Someday it will. That idea won't come.
Okay.
It can't be made again. So that is gone. So 2017, that's when that went away from me, was when I had this plan of making this film.
Yeah. But why did you feel it was Mukundan only? What did you feel at that time about?
No, I have told you, right? Like, I don't know if I've told you. I take things way too personally. I wrote my first feature film script in 2012. It was a romance, and it was again a very personal thing. At that point of time, I was in love with someone, and everything was personal. And I wrote it as a romance. I could not make that film. But Mugundruni Associates, at that point of time, that was my life philosophy, and that was personal to me. I had this strong belief that there is no karma, and I just wanted to get a closure for a lot of things, and Mugundruni would give me that closure, and that is why I made that film. I wanted to, of course, make it an entertaining film, but it was very personal to me. At that point of time, that is the thought process I was going through, and I made that. And nothing else would fit that thought process.
So had you written the script first and then gone to different people, or you had the idea in your mind? What was that?
No. 2017 December, I decided to make this film with Vimal. Vimal is the co-writer. So we both started writing the film, and it went on till 2022. And it went on till 2019 when the actor we initially wanted to play, Mugundununni, rejected the role. And then that's when the trouble started. When he rejected the role, then things started falling apart. As in, like, we were not able to figure out a way to start the film. And that went through a lot of actors. Some of them rejected, some of them didn't respond. And then finally, Vinithan was close to me anyway. So he said he will do the film. That's how Mugundruni Associates happened. So I did not pitch the idea to anyone before working on the script. I actually made a draft of the script and then went to the actors.
Got it. What was your... I'll go a little deep on this, then we'll move on, right? Because this first... I'm sure the second film is also hard to make, but that first thing of getting that thing made, I'm sure is the toughest thing. Because there is nothing before you to show as proof of work. You've edited a lot of films, that is it. But as a director, for someone to trust you and say, and that too for this particular subject and such a character, right? Now we can say that, of course, this is such a unique character, such a unique film. It had to be made, and that's why people are loving it and all of that stuff. But when you hear on paper that this is a guy who will literally kill people for his own needs, and be smiling at it, and he's the hero of the film, I'm sure it's a difficult thing for someone to say, yeah, okay, let's do it, right? So what was your daily routine like? Who all did you meet? What kind of...
Getting the producer on board initially was easy, but getting the actors on board was tough.
Well, how was it easy to get the producer?
Because I had already edited a couple of films. So for some reason, certain producers, I don't want to name them right now because they were not involved in the final film. Yeah. So certain producers took a lot of belief in me and said, I will produce your first film. So they had actually asked me to develop a film script and come over and all that. But for some reason, that didn't happen. But I still got another producer. So getting the producer was a little more easier for me because they probably trusted me as a technician. Probably that's because of the reason why I got a producer easily. But getting an actor is tough because as I told you before, Malayalam industry works on a very personal level, and you need to have friends as actors to actually for them to believe in you and support you if your vision is a little different. Or in the sense if it's a little unsafe, unconventional, I would say. Yeah. So or I should be a really good narrator, and I should be able to impress them with my skills, which I'm not good at. So I was not able to impress any actors, which is definitely my fault, not anybody else's fault. And I was not able to develop any deep friendship with anyone any mainstream actor who would just come on board and tell me you can make your film and I'll be a part of it. The only person who I had a friend was like Vinny Srinivasan. So he was the only person who came on board.
I want to talk about the narration part, right? I'm very interested in knowing the narration process of filmmakers, because everyone has like a different process. What is your narration process like?
Mugundruni, I faltered with some narrations with a few leading actors. So Vinny Srinivasan, since he was close to me, so he's like a elder brother for me. So I asked him to, can you please read? You know that I'm not good at this. Can you please read the script? He said, okay, I'll read the script. So he read the script and he said, okay. So for Naslin, what I did was like I found a way to get past this issue of narrating it badly. For Naslin, what I did was I met him after writing the first half of the film, and I called him to a hotel to narrate. So he came to the hotel, and what I did was like he was sitting in the other chair, and I was sitting on the bed, and I switched off all the lights, and I narrated to him in darkness.
In darkness?
In darkness. So that I don't have to see his reactions.
Oh.
And it worked.
What if he sleeps or something?
No, he was laughing and all that, so it's okay.
There's absolutely no light, no light.
Just
mood lighting.
Just laptop. I was
so you were reading it out?
I was reading from the laptop. So he could see my face because of the laptop's light.
Okay.
So I can't see his face because it's dark.
And you're also reading also.
Yeah, I was reading. So that narration went well. He was happy with the first half, and that's when we...
so you narrated the first half, he said yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you have like music or any other SFX?
Nothing. I just switched off all the lights so that I don't have to be nervous.
Oh, super. Oh, this is very new. Yeah. So if someone asks you to narrate the entire thing without looking at the script, can you do it?
No, I can't.
Okay. So that's your process. That's completely fine. But this is something very new. I'll use it sometime. Okay. Tell me about Naslin. Right? I discovered him first, I think, in Premal only, and then I saw his earlier movies, or I think I would have seen him in other movies, and then recognized that, oh, this is the guy who came in Home, and then I think he came in Kurdi also.
Yeah.
Tani Matan Dinagal I have not watched yet. I have to watch. But why did you think that, if not him, absolutely no one else, I'm taking Mollywood Times too? What is special about
No,
Naslin?
it's not. It's like I have an issue with being obsessed with a particular actor. Like, I was obsessed with Nivin Pauly when I watched Bangalore Days, and I wanted to make a movie with him, and that's why I wrote Mugudurni for him. He, of course, rejected it, and that's when Vinny Thattan did the role. After watching Joe and Joe, there's this movie called Joe and Joe. So when I was doing the post-production of Mugudurni Associates in Chennai, I was doing dubbing of Vinny Thattan in Chennai. So at that point, Joe and Joe released in theatres, and I just went I just thought of going for a movie. That's all. I did not think much of it. And then I went for the movie. I really enjoyed the movie, and then Naslin was a standout for me. He was doing a supporting role, and I felt like I should make a movie with him. And I got a similar feeling that I got after watching Nivin Pauly, and I got a similar feeling that this guy I want to somehow shoot. I want to work with him, and I want to explore him as an actor. And I got a little obsessed with him, as in like I wanted to work with him somehow. And I immediately after Joe and Joe, I came out at the theatre and I called my co-writer of Mugudurni, Bimal. We were discussing a couple of ideas, and I asked him, I want to work with Naslin. See if there's any idea that would work for Naslin. I will also think, but let's cancel all the ideas that we have right now. I want to work with Naslin. I want to somehow make a movie with him as a lead role. He doesn't know about it yet. He was not aware of it. Naslin was not aware of it. And we discussed, nothing worked out. That's when Ramu met me after the release of Mugudurni. We were discussing a lot of things. Like Ramu is the writer of
Mollywood Times.
So he has been he was like a younger brother to me. I told you about his journey, as in like he worked as an AD in my first film as an editor. So he's been my college junior and everything. So we have a long journey together. And after Mugudurni Associates, we just casually met, and we started speaking, and we started talking about our experiences in the industry and our life experiences and everything. And then we zeroed in on a subject which felt very interesting for both of us. And I felt like this should be the film that we should make, and I felt only Naslin could do it. And when even before we started writing the script, I immediately called, I messaged Naslin on Instagram for number. He gave me the number. I called
on
him
Instagram.
On Instagram.
But you can get it through Vinny Srinivasan or so many other people.
No, I know. See, at that point of time, I'm just thinking about a lot of things. I would immediately, that is the first thing that comes to me. Oh, Naslin number one. Okay, I just went to Instagram and messaged him, got his number. That's how I usually, I've asked for like a couple of actors who have acted in this film. I've actually asked through Instagram only, not. Because at that point of time you were thinking about a lot of things, so you only think of the bare minimum possibility. You don't think that, okay, if you call this person, so my mind doesn't work that way. My mind is like a little it's
okay. I thought of this person, let me just do
ask.
It.
That is so Naslin gave me the number, and I called him immediately, and I spoke to him and told him that, listen, I made this movie called Mugudurni Associates, and I would like to make my next film with you as a lead role, but only if you say yes, or you don't have to say yes to the film, but only if you say that no, you're interested to work with me, I would work on the script. Otherwise, I would not like to work on the script. We haven't started writing yet. This was in 2023 June. This was like 8 months before Primalu released. Yeah, so 2023 June, I called him and he said, yeah, he would be interested to work. And I also told him, if you don't like the script, you don't have to act in it. But you will have to tell me that you are interested to work with me. If you don't, if you are interested to work with me, only then I'll actually write. And he said, yeah, you can go ahead. So that's when we started writing the script of Mollywood Times.
But what if, see, he says he's interested. Okay. And then you write the entire script. And suppose he doesn't like the script now, then what happens?
I told you, I don't have a plan B.
Don't
think about that possibility.
You'll lock the hotel room, not switch on the lights, and then that's all.
I don't think about that possibility. If I think about that possibility, I won't be able to work. I just have to work. And if that script is good, he will accept it. I'll have to concentrate on making that script good, right?
So you don't think about what if?
No. If I think about that, then that'll be the only thing I'll think about, right? Like, there are so many possibilities that can go wrong in life.
But why have you always been like this? In the sense,
I've always been
no plan B.
No plan B.
Okay, from the beginning.
Yeah.
I wish I could use that skill somehow. Okay, break down Naslin a little bit. No, why did you get obsessed with Naslin?
I don't know. How do you fall in love with a woman?
A woman is different. Naslin is different, woman is different.
No, it's not that. I'm just saying, how do you fall in love with movies? Like the same way.
Love at first sight. Some charisma, some X factor.
Something that just the way I used to love Irfan Khan. Like I wrote a script for Irfan Khan. He doesn't know of my existence. Okay, it was in 2015. He doesn't know that I exist, or he never knew. But I was obsessed with Irfan Khan. I wrote a script for him.
But you can still see if you can say his eyes, the way he delivers. Something.
Yeah, he's so likable. He's so charming.
And now after,
and I felt like shooting him. I felt like I should shoot him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you ask me, for example, what I liked in Premalu was he looked like just another guy, literal guy next door. But there are these little quirks that he does. Like
he's very easy, no?
He does hi like this, little things, and then. Like these small little mannerisms and all, right? So now that you have worked with him on camera, off camera, what have you observed about him that that you didn't know before?
He's better than what I thought. I think he'll go a long way. I don't have to say this. Everyone knows. When it comes to scripts, he will say yes only if he likes it.
I've heard the same thing from.
He's a very sensible guy, and I admire him for that. Like. I wish I had that level of maturity when I was of that age, because he is so clear in his thoughts. As in the kind of doubts he asks, especially when I went to narrate the first half to him into 2024 in April 30th or something. Yeah, April 30th of 2024 was when I narrated the first half to him, and May 4th, 2024 was the announcement. So when I went to narrate Naslin, the first half, I had 3 areas where the screenplay had issues, like major issues that I have not worked on. And I was thinking, okay, I'll just narrate it to him and then I'll see if it, because I just have to get his dates so that the movie is final and it can go on flows whenever the second half finishes. So I went to Naslin and narrated the first half, and then he asked me exactly 3 of these issues. And I told him the answer and he was okay with it, happy with it. But he pointed out exactly the 3 main issues that I had with the script. So I think that level of clarity is not easy to get at that age. He's very intelligent.
One thing that really struck me about you, right, which I find very, very refreshing, is your online personality. Whatever we can see of it, right? You do your Instagram Q&A, like I think once a week or once in 2 weeks or something you do. And it's like you ask people to ask a question, they'll ask and then you will, you will treat them well. But I mean, for some
don't
questions.
do that off.
No, yeah, not
just
to all.
One or
I'll give you one example. One Instagram story from one of your Q&As. So someone has asked about Mollywood Times only. Bro, Jan, Feb, we didn't have major release. Mollywood Times could have avoided the clash in May. So now it's releasing on June 5th. June 5th, right? So first it was supposed to release on May 14th or something, which was around May 14th. It was same time around, I think Adi Reddy was coming.
May 14th, yeah.
Patriot was 1 week before. So I think he was talking about there's too many movies coming in and all, why are you doing this?
Please don't read it.
You were like, you want us to release the rough cut? We will release only when the work is done, not when there is no clash. This is a movie made by humans, not a biscuit manufactured in a factory. And the best part is,
Oh shit. Okay.
this story, like, people took a screenshot of this, they went to Reddit, they put it there, and then people are fighting. So, but I can safely say that majority of people are on your side. Everyone is like, what the fuck is wrong with that? People need to hesitate when they ask certain questions. Such a stupid question. He's making the film, doesn't he know better? Then there is also one more Reddit post connected to something like this. They've given you a tag, okay? The most arrogant, overconfident filmmaker in Malayalam. And then they put this picture. Put this picture.
Yeah, I was just thinking, this is like a rage bait article.
Yeah. And they've written some paragraphs and all of that. But one guy has replied to that also, which I really liked. It's so nice when people who like your work, they start defending for you, not just out of hero worship or anything, but they give points. Like, for example, this guy said, ASN has been in the industry for the past 15 years, and the so-called overconfidence or arrogance, as some of you like to call it, comes from a place of deep understanding of the industry as well as his own competence and experience and all that, right? So there's some support for you, but you also mentioned that some people think of you as a certain way. There's one perception of you. Why do you think that is, firstly? And why do you think they've given you this tag? And does it affect you in any way?
Of course it affects me. I mean, everything would affect you if everybody wants acceptance in life. Like, nobody wants criticism. Like, we are all living for getting accepted by people. So it affects you. I don't think, I mean, it's natural to be affected by it. So I think it's definitely because of the Instagram posts that I do and the Q&As that I do, or the kind of, or it's also because there was an interview related to Pet Detective, a film that had my name in the credits as an editor. So because that film didn't do very well critically, because the editing was all over the place, was one of the complaints. So the way I spoke in the interview felt like I would deliver a good job, and the movie probably disappointed people. And it's very natural for a person to actually get irritated when, oh, this guy is speaking so much and he's not delivered anything. So that is the reaction. I think that's it. The post is because of that particular film, and it's okay. It's very natural for people to criticize you if you don't match up to your words. So that's okay.
So are you saying you shouldn't have said that or something, or I said what I said?
I shouldn't have edited that film.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. And then I love that Insta story reply. Okay, the biscuit factory thing. But I'm just playing devil's advocate. Okay, I love it. I enjoy this kind of drama. I'll come with popcorn and all. But if you are making a film for a wide audience, right? Kerala itself and Malayalam movies are now watched by the rest of the country. I'm not even talking about the Gulf countries and all. North Indians watch, Tamilians watch, everyone watches Malayalam cinema now. If not in theatres, definitely on OTT. And there will be one audience, there'll be parts of the audience who would be asking you stuff like this. And is there a risk of offending the audience or something? In the sense, like if you say that, do you want us to put rough cut or what? This is not.
So I'll read it in my tone. Can I give you?
Yeah, please.
So you've read it in your tone, right? The way you imagined the post to be. I'll read it in my tone.
I'll read it in the most entertaining way that sounds to me.
So what I meant is, you want us to release the rough cut? We will release only when the work is done, not when there is no clash. This is a movie made by humans, not a biscuit manufactured in the factory. This is my tone.
Okay. Got
This
it.
was not. Yeah, this was my tone. This is a normal.
But-
so I'll tell you, I was also pissed off because of this. Because I'll tell you, this is not a person who sent me a message because he was worried about our release or our movie not doing well because we had clash. This was a person. This particular account has been sending me messages and tweets on Instagram as well, asking us to postpone or prepone the release of our film.
Why?
I don't know. This particular account was just bombarding me with messages like this. And I was irritated for one particular reason, because even while we were shooting our film, we had fixed the date as May 14th. And at that point of time, Adredi was supposed to come in Onam, which was 3 months later. And they preponed the date, and this was our date actually. And instead of asking them why they preponed it, they were asking us to prepone it again, which was, I felt, was very unfair. And this particular account was trying to instigate like some sort of reaction from me, and I did give them a reaction, and that went wrong.
Got it. So you remember these certain accounts
I do
in your mind, right? Yeah. No. Yeah, there are some people who are there, and I guess the other people, like the people on Reddit who reacted to this.
Do you think it's fair to actually ask us to move the release date
No,
when we
of
have
course
actually fixed the release date 3 months, even while we were shooting, we had fixed the release date, and when someone else actually prepones their film, do we release an inferior version of a film by preponing our film? That's very unfair to ask us.
Before we go to the end, right? I want to know about how are you like one day before the shoot starts, that like the night before, and how are you generally on set?
During Mugutununi, I was a little frustrated overall. So on sets, I used to shout at my ADs and stuff like that, and I'm not very proud of it. But in Mollywood Times, I was a little more softer. I was a little more sorted in life, so those frustrations didn't come to me. I'm not justifying those frustrations in Mugunduruni Associates. I think that was not the right thing to do. I shouted at a couple of my ADs and used some cuss words and all that. So I don't think I should have done that, and I'm not very proud of it. But Mollywood Times, I was a very cool person on sets, except for sometimes when things wouldn't go well, and I still didn't shout. I was calm, and but I still made sure that people who did not work properly knew that I was upset, but I did not use foul language or anything of that sort. But when work doesn't happen well, or if someone is not sincere, I think it's important that that person should know that you're upset. And I don't think that's something that you need to cover up. So I've done that, but I've done that in a way that would not offend anyone.
Okay, so finally, right? I'm sure any movie that you make after this, you'll have Mollywood Times, you'll have third, fourth, fifth, like that. And at some point before every release, there'll be some 21-year-old boy or girl hopefully watching this interview and trying to be like, how do I enter this industry? And they'll be trying to look for answers within these interviews, not just this interview, any filmmaker's interview. And I like to ask every filmmaker this only: if you were to give some kind of advice to any 21-year-old boy or girl wanting to enter movies, wanting to reduce their struggle, make their journey a little easier, right? What would you tell them?
Reduce your expectations. I think expectations give you disappointment, and that in turn breaks you.
Elaborate on this. Expectation means?
Expectations as in like
an example?
Don't have a condition that this will work out at this point of time. And certain things which I should make a film at the age of 25, or I should do this at this point of I have to make only film. I have to be like Christopher Nolan, or I have to be like I have to have his career trajectory or this person's career trajectory. You can never get anyone else's career trajectory. You will have your own career trajectory, and nothing that you think will happen. Okay. And I think everyone should just not expect too much out of life and let things happen as it does. I don't think you should keep too much of expectations. I think that itself would not break you, and when you're not broken, you don't lose your innocence. I think it's very important that you protect your innocence by not breaking yourself.
I didn't expect it to go that deep suddenly. Protecting your innocence.
Yeah, I think I lost my innocence by the time I made my first film.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I hope no one else does.
What does losing innocence mean?
Losing the mindset to believe in fantasy, losing the mindset to believe in good things and a lot of other similar things.
Can you still make movies with that mindset if that feeling is gone?
I can't. That's why I made Mugundru Nesujej.
Okay. But can you get it back? Or
No,
did
I don't think you can get it
If it's gone, it's gone.
Gone.
Okay. I didn't want it to end it on a dark note, but I'm sure Mollywood Times is going to be like a really nice movie. But
I hope so too.
Yeah. Even though it says hate letter to cinema, I hope everything goes right for what's his name? Vineet Madhavan in the end, right? Because especially with movies like this, which are set about the film industry, I at least as an audience want to get some hope out of it that okay, things will be fine, and cinema as an entire ecosystem, as an occupation, as a art form will continue, right? I hope Mollywood Times does that, but nevertheless I'm going to be seated first day first show.
You're very kind to me all the time.
That is because of your work, no other reason.
But still it's
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.